Good day, dear teachers and fellow educators. I'm Teacher Josa, your RPMS coordinator. It's a joy to walk with you once again as we explore the updated performance management and evaluation system for school year 2025 to 2026. This session is anchored on DepEd Memorandum number 089, series of 2025, and aims to clarify our indicators, deepen our understanding of practice, and reaffirm our mission as educators. So here's a copy of DepEd Memo 089, series of 2025. Actually, the title is Guidelines on the Multi-Year Performance Management and Evaluation System, or PMES, for teachers from school years 2025 to 2026 to 2027 to 2028. So for today, I'll just discuss the PMES for school year 2025 to 2026. This session focuses on teachers from Teacher 1 to Teacher 3 only, who are working toward proficiency. Each level reflects a stage in our professional growth, from the foundations of teaching practice to mastery and leadership. It is important to see this is not as hierarchy but a continuum, a process that values progress. Today, we will unpack each indicator that defines effective teaching. As we go through them, think about your own classroom, the strategies you use, the relationships you build, and the growth you've seen in your learners. These are the real measures of performance that no document can fully capture. So let's see the classroom observation tool again for teachers 1 to 3, beginning towards proficient. For this school year, our first set of indicators belongs to the following indicators. Again, for CO number 1 only, or classroom observation 1. We have 1.1.2, apply knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas. 1.4.2, use a range of teaching strategies that enhance learning achievement in literacy and numeracy. And 1.5.2, apply a range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking as well as other higher order thinking skills. And 2.3.2, manage classroom structure to engage learners individually or in groups in meaningful exploration, discovery, and hands-on activities within a range of physical learning environments. 3.1.2, use differentiated developmentally appropriate learning experiences to address learners' gender, needs, strengths, interests, and experiences. And last is 4.1.2, plan, manage, and implement developmentally sequence teaching and learning process to meet curriculum requirements and varied teaching contexts. So overall, we have 6 indicators for classroom observation number 1. Okay? And for teachers 1 to 3, or beginning towards proficient, ang highest rate po natin based sa classroom observation tool or rating sheet is 6. Makikita nyo po dyan. 6 ang highest po natin for this school year. For teacher 1 to 3 only. Okay po? So, tingnan natin ang unang indicator. 1.1.2, apply knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching area. And this is part of Domain 1, Content, Knowledge, and Pedagogy. This first indicator emphasizes our mastery of the content we teach and our ability to connect ideas across disciplines. True teaching goes beyond memorization. It involves seeing the big picture and helping students see how lessons interrelate. When we connect math with art, science with ethics or values education, or literature with history, we make learning meaningful. In applying this indicator, reflect on how your lessons show coherence and relevance. Ask yourself, do I help my learners see the purpose of what they're learning? Am I responsive to their developmental needs? A teacher who understands both the subject and the learners creates a classroom where knowledge truly comes alive. So let's unpack the term. When we say curriculum teaching areas, it's the different learning subject areas taught and learned in the K-12 curriculum, which include areas for kindergarten education, special education, alternative learning system, or ALS, Indigenous People Education, or IPE. For IPED, learning subject areas are contextualized by interfacing the national curriculum competencies with community competencies identified in their indigenous knowledge systems and practices. Now, when we say knowledge of content and pedagogy, that's the integration of expertise and teaching skill for a particular area, appropriateness of pedagogy to teaching area. When we say within our content teaching area, inclusion of appropriately chosen intra-disciplinary topics and enabling learning competencies within curriculum guide of specific learning subject area and grade level. So for example, Aralin Panlipunan 7 or Aralin Panlipunan 8, I'll integrate it with Aralin Panlipunan 7. Okay? When we say across curriculum teaching area, we make meaningful connections, including appropriate interdisciplinary topics and learning competencies cited in curriculum guide of other learning subject areas in any grade level. Kaya maganda po when we integrate within and across, nandun, nakalagay din po yung learning competency ng teaching area na yon. Para klaro, ano po yung ini-integrate natin. Next. So, ito po yung makikita natin sa classroom observation tool. At of course, ang nilagay ko lang dyan again is yung pang teacher 1 to 3. Again, ang highest rating po natin ay 6. Okay? So, for 1, as you can see, ang rating niya ay 1 if the teacher demonstrates substantial content error, either in presenting the lesson or in responding to learners' questions or comment. Makakakuha naman po siya ng 2 if the teacher demonstrates moderate content errors related to lesson concepts, either in presenting the lesson or responding to learners' questions or comment. The lesson content does not display coherence. 3 ang kanyang rating kapag she or he demonstrates minor content error either in presenting the lesson or in responding to learners' questions or comment. And the lesson content displays simple coherence. 4 ang rating if you demonstrate accurate knowledge of key concepts, both in presenting the lesson and in responding to learners' questions or comments. Meron kang coherence sa lesson mo o yung content mo. And you attempt to make connection across curriculum teaching areas. Meaning, for rating ng 4, may attempt ka lang na i-connect. Okay? Next, for 5, the teacher demonstrates accurate and in-depth knowledge of most concepts in presenting the lesson and in responding to learners' questions in a manner that attempts to be responsive to student developmental learning needs. So, nag-attempt ka. Okay? And you make connection across curriculum teaching areas if appropriate. Okay? And 6, ang makukuha natin or yung highest, if you demonstrate accurate and in-depth knowledge of all knowledge in presenting the lesson and responding to learners' question in a manner that is responsive to learners' developmental needs and you promote learning. Meaning, you make meaningful connection across curriculum teaching areas if appropriate. Okay? So, keyword that you need to remember, accurate and in-depth knowledge, responsive to learners' developmental needs, and you make meaningful curriculum connection across curriculum teaching areas if appropriate. Hindi kailangang napakaraming subjects ang i-integrate, no? Ang nakalagay dyan, if appropriate and if you make meaningful connections. As observer, ang tinitignan natin yung features of practice. Okay po? So, one, again, if you commit extensive error at meron kang multiple content errors. Two, kung few yung content errors mo. Three, the teacher indicates some awareness of other ideas in the same teaching area that are connected but does not make solid connections. The teacher makes few content error in presenting the lesson but does not affect entirely the learning process. That's 3. Ang rating mo naman ay 4 if the teacher clearly explains concepts and makes no content error. Wala kang error, no? And then the content appears to be accurate and its focus shows awareness and ideas and a structure of teaching areas. And you demonstrate factual knowledge of subject matter. Yun nga lang, you attempt to connect content across teaching areas. Of course, we want to achieve 5 or 6. So 5, if you display comprehensive understanding of concepts and structure of the teaching areas, and you present conceptual knowledge of subject and makes connection within teaching areas. Now, 6 ka if you display extensive knowledge of content. And if you address content accurately and focus is congruent to big ideas or structure or the teaching area. So let's unpack the different term, no? So when we say substantial content error, significant degree of error. Kapag moderate content error, reasonable degree. Kapag minor, insignificant error na hindi naman apektado yung entire lesson. When we say key concept, that's the central idea ng topic mo or ng lesson mo. And when we say coherence, that's the logical and developmental sequence in presenting the lesson. That's why we need to follow yung logical sequence ng ating lesson plan. When we say simple coherence, that's the basic logic and sequence of the lesson in one part linked to the next. And of course, when we say pedagogy, methods and practice of learning. Okay? And another and additional clarification, accurate knowledge, error-free ka. In-depth, nakalagay dyan, foundational knowledge and finer details within the curriculum teaching area. No? Master mo talaga yung iyong lesson. No? When we say broad knowledge, that's their knowledge, no? Across curriculum teaching areas. High level kapag accurate, broad knowledge, no? Exceptional if knowledge grounded in global practices. Okay? So, mahalaga na matandaan natin yung mga bagay na yan. And also, I will post yung link para po sa ating virtual LAC session per indicator. Para mas comprehensive pang maipaliwanag yung bawat indicator na yan. Kasi ito pong ginagawa natin is just the orientation of all indicators for CO number 1. Okay? At Para hindi kayo malito dun sa dalawang pinapresent ko o yung pinapakita ko, yan. Etong una na yan, that is what we call level of description. No? Refer to the description of practice for each level. Now, etong future of practice, ang ipinapakita niyan is the illustrations of specific classroom practices at each particular level. No, mas specific example siya or illustration siya nung description nung ating rate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yung clarifications naman, of course, operational definition natin ng mga selected word na ginagamit dyan sa ating classroom observation tool. Next, we proceed to 1.4.2, use of range teaching strategies that enhance learning achievement in literacy and numeracy skill. Part ito ng domain 1 pa rin, kapareho nung sa knowledge within and across curriculum teaching areas. So let's unpack, no? When we say literacy, it's skills needed for reading and writing. This may include awareness of sounds of language, awareness of print and relationship between letters and sounds. Other skills such creating knowledge through writing as well as developing media and technology, part pa rin yan ng literacy skill, no? Sa indigenous or IPED classroom, pwedeng reading behavior of animals, symbols of leaves, wind direction, temperature, and etc. Okay? When we say critical literacy, it's the ability to critically analyze and evaluate the meaning of text as it relates to community and global issues to inform a critical stance, response, and or action. No? Key term that I want you to remember, critically analyze and evaluate the meaning of text. Hindi lang nila basta binasa. Okay? They analyze it, they evaluate it. When we say numeracy skill naman, skills consist of comprehending and applying fundamental arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We may include the ability to reason with mathematical concepts like interpreting data, charts, diagrams, to process information, to solve problem, to make decisions based on logical thinking and reasoning. So, example po niyan sa SPED, no, up and down movement in brushing teeth, counting the number of boys and girls, folding of clothes using numbered pattern. In indigenous people, we have the indigenous measurement, calendar, synchronized planting, and etc. Okay? When we say critical numeracy skill is the ability to effectively use mathematical concepts in applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating ideas. No? Effectively use the concept. In where? In what? No? When they apply it, when they analyze, and when they evaluate. And more, no, mas maganda, they create ideas. Okay? So, when we see the classroom observation tool, may kita natin itong description na ito na 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, ang rating if the teacher does not use teaching strategies, obviously, no. 2, the teacher uses disconnected teaching strategies to address literacy or numeracy needs. Okay? 3, if the teacher uses loosely connected to address yung learner's literacy and numeracy natin. 4, key term, no, occasionally applies. And 5, frequently applies relevant strategies that enhance learners' literacy and numeracy skills. 6, The teacher consistently applies relevant strategies that enhance learners' literacy and numeracy skills. We need to read the Futures of Practice para makita natin yung specific illustration ng bawat description na yan, no? One, again, if you make no reference to use of numerical concepts and literacy to understand the lesson. Two, ang rating kapag you use unrelated activities which do not develop learners' understanding, lalo na sa literacy and numeracy. Three, you define general term in the lesson but fails to define specific terms needed to develop learners' full understanding of literacy and or numeracy concepts. Four, in some parts of the lesson, the teachers provided activities but fail to do in some critical part of lessons. No? So, for ang rating kapag sa isang part lang ng lesson mo, pero dun sa mahalagang part ng lesson mo, wala. No? Kahit ano. No? 5, the teacher uses activities that enhance literacy for numeracy in almost all aspect of the lesson. At 6 ka or yung highest, no, kung the teacher provides activities to enhance learners' literacy and or numeracy skills in all of the lesson, no? So let's unpack the terms, no? Disconnected teaching strategies which are inappropriate, no? Loosely connected, mismatch, no? Mismatch. Occasionally, irregularly, frequently, no, often occurs, consistently, constant. When we say relevant, teaching approaches which are moderately associated with learners' developmental needs to enhance literacy and numeracy. Okay? So, ano po ang dapat tandaan natin dito sa indicator na to? Indicator 1.4.2 focuses on using teaching strategies that strengthen literacy and numeracy. No? Literacy means more than reading and writing. It's understanding and communicating meaning in diverse forms. Numeracy goes beyond numbers. It's reasoning, interpreting data, solving problems logically. As teachers, every subject we teach can promote these foundational skills. A science experiment, history timeline, music rhythm, all reinforce literacy and numeracy. When we consciously integrate this, we don't just teach lessons. We build lifelong learners who can read the world and reason through it. Let's read or see the next indicator. Again, mag-provide po ako dyan ng virtual LAC session para mas comprehensive pa. Kasi this one is just an orientation. Okay po? Next is 1.5.2, apply a range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking as well as other higher thinking skills at part pa rin po ito ng domain 1, no? Content knowledge and pedagogy. Let's unpack, no? Let's define critical thinking skills, no? High-level thinking skills such as analysis, evaluation, interpretation, or synthesis of information and application of creative thought to form an argument, solve a problem, or reach a conclusion. When we say creative thinking naman, it's involve exploring ideas, generating possibilities, and looking for multiple right answers rather than just one. When we say higher order thinking skills, when we say this one kasi parang na ulit po so maganda na dino-double check natin yan. So, let's double check dun sa ating COT tool. Ano yung difference nung dalawang yan? When we say higher order thinking skill, complex thinking processes which include analysis, evaluation, synthesis, reflection, and creativity. Yun po yung tama. Okay po, kasi yung naka-project sa screen natin, that's the creative thinking skills. Okay? Now, let's read kung ano po yung description, no? 1 to 6. 1, the teacher does not use teaching strategies. 2, the teacher asks low-order questions. No? Simple lang, no? Mga who, what, where. 3, the teacher provides straightforward questions which lead learners through single path of inquiry. 4, the teacher uses questions and activities that mostly require the learners to interpret, explain, or describe ideas learned. 5, the teacher employs range of targeted follow-up questions and activities that encourage learners to explain, demonstrate, and use ideas learned. 6, if you challenge learners to justify their thinking and you successfully engage most learners, no, sa discussion using well-directed questions and activity. Okay? So, specific illustration, yung 1, wala kang ginamit na relevant questions, you ask questions but fail to give opportunities for learners to process them. The teacher answer his or own question. No? So, pag kayo pong sumagot ang sarili yung tanong, 1. 2, the teacher asks simple yes or no question. 3, the teacher asks questions that require role-type responses such as who, what, where, and when. So, may mga specific examples dyan. Actually, when you read po DepEd Memo 089, nandun din to yung na makikita nyo rin po itong mga tool na to. And for 4, the teacher makes some attempt to engage learners in genuine discussion. And you ask, can you please explain this idea? Oh, yan, no? Now, rating natin ay 5 if you employ a range of strategies to ensure that most learners are given opportunities to give opinions about the lesson and reach to, okay? And you create genuine discussion among learners, providing adequate time for them to respond, no? 6, if you challenge learners cognitively to advance high-level thinking and discourse in interactive exchange of views, no? Or you ensure that all voices of learners are heard in the discussion. Okay po? So, tignan natin, no, ang tinatansya netong indicator na to, again, is the critical thinking, creative thinking, at higher order, no? This indicator calls us to develop learners' critical and creative thinking as well as higher order thinking skills. It's about helping students not just know but think. Again, no, critical thinking involves analyzing, evaluating, justifying ideas, while creative thinking invites innovation, imagination, and risk-taking. As teachers, our questions, activities, and discussions should challenge learners to go deeper. We create a classroom culture where mistakes are stepping stones to understanding and where curiosity leads the way. When we model critical and creative thoughts, our students learn to do the same. Okay po? Next is 2.3.2, manage classroom structure to engage learners individually or in group in meaningful exploration, discovery, and hands-on activities within a range of physical learning environment. Yan ay makita natin sa domain 2, learning environment. Okay? Kasi yung kanina, yung tatlong indicators na nauna, domain 1, content and knowledge, no, pedagogy. Ito, domain 2, learning environment. So, when we say physical learning environment, area, space where learning takes place. Pag sinabi natin classroom structure, yung physical setup ng environment natin, no? Minsan yan yun, no? Generally, yan yung arrangement ng chairs, tables, equipment natin, designed to maximize learning. Okay? So, when we say meaningful exploration, may 100% understanding, no, ang ating learners. Nire-relate nila in other concepts. Discovery learning, if the learners draw on their experiences and existing knowledge to discover facts, relationship, tsaka yung knowledge na natutunan nila, no? It's the, sabi nga nila, learning, relearning, and unlearning, no? Hands-on learning activities require physical participation ng ating mga learners, no? So, gusto ko maalala nyo, no, yung some, no, less than half ng klase, majority, more than half, most, almost all, or 100% ng ating mga learners, or approaching 100%, no? Kasi when we read the rating description, yung one, the teacher does not manage classroom structure. Yung two, the teacher manage classroom structure but fails to engage learners. Yung 3, manage classroom structure and engage some learner in discovery or hands-on activity. Yung 4, the teacher manages classroom structure and engage the majority of learners. Siyempre gusto natin yung 5, no, ma-achieve, no. Yung 5, if you manage classroom structure and engage most learners in meaningful exploration and hands-on, no, within a range of physical learning environment. Yung 6, if you manage classroom structure and engage all learners, no? So, key term dyan, all, no? Specifically, if we read the features of practice, syempre yung 1, no, you fail to structure the classroom. Yung 2, does not structure the classroom. Poor ka, no, sa classroom structure, no. 3, the teacher involves some learners, so to konti lang, no, within allotted time and physical space. Yung 4 naman, you have structure, may simple classroom layout ka, use available resources, yun nga lang, somewhat suitable yung activity mo. Yung 5, the teacher structure the classroom and layout and use available resources, generally suitable, no, which involve most of learners, no. Yung 6, no, you keep the learning environment free from congestions, facilitate activities that appropriate within physical learning environment for all learners to work productively within allocated time, no. So, key term that I want you to remember, free from congestion, kasi na-manage mo ng maayos yung iyong physical environment, nag-facilitate ka ng appropriate learning activity within the physical learning environment. Kaya yung mga bata, they work productively. Okay? So, managing classroom structure is more than arranging chairs and tables. It's about creating a space where learning naturally flows. This indicator calls us to design environments that encourage exploration, discovery, hands-on experiences, whether in person, virtual, or classroom setup. It should invite curiosity and participation. An engaging classroom feels alive. Students move, collaborate, and think together. The key is to find the balance between order and flexibility. No? When learners know the routines, expectations, and spaces where they can express themselves, the classroom becomes a community of thinkers, not just a room of listeners. Okay? So, next natin is 3.1.2, uses or use differentiated, developmentally appropriate learning experiences to address learners' gender, needs, strengths, interests, and experiences. Ito naman, this one, makita natin siya sa domain 3, no? Diversity of learners. Let's define the terms. No? When we say differentiated learning experiences, teaching and learning activities that are suited to various learning needs, abilities, and skills. When we say developmentally, of course, no, sa level ng bata natin, no, kung yan ay grade 7, kung yan ay grade 8, grade 9, or grade 10, or senior high school, or elementary, or kinder, no. So, suitable sa kanilang level, no. When we say learning needs, comprise both essential learning tools, no? Pwedeng literacy, oral expression, problem solving, basic learning content, no? So, overall, yan yung learning tools, basic learning content, required by human beings to survive, develop their full capacities to live and work. Yan, that's according to UNESCO, no? 1992. When we say gender, no, so social attribute and opportunities with male, female, no, in relationship or relationship between women, men, girls, and boys, no. When we say learners need, no, yung gap between present knowledge or competence and the curriculum standards identified as necessary. Strength, no, yung competence ng ating mga learners, no. Interest, personal preferences, no. Learning experiences, skill or knowledge that a learner gets from doing something, no, yung na-gain niya. Now, when we read the rating, 1 ka if wala kang provided learning experience, di ba? 2, you provide learning experience naman but you fail to address learners' needs. 3, limited lang yung iyong differentiated learning experiences. 4, you provide differentiated or developmentally appropriate learning to address, no? Actually, parang pareho yung 4 tsaka 5. Magkakaiba lang yan mamaya sa specific illustration, no? And 6. Ang kaibahan naman ni 6, kung makikita nyo, address learning needs of different group of learners. Hindi lang needs of learners. Nakalagay dyan, group of learners. Specifically, kung mag-observe tayo, yung ating 1, of course, does not use any strategy. No? Yung 2, hindi appropriate naman. Yung 3, relies on single strategy. Yung 4, address the developmental levels of learnings by providing learning experiences. Nakalagay nga lang dito, most learners to progress toward meeting intended outcomes. Okay? Yung keyword natin dyan, most learners. 5 ang rating if you address developmental level of learners in classroom and make use different ways they learn by providing differentiated activities. No? 6 ang ma-achieve if you support learners' needs through variety of strategy, material, and phasing that make learning accessible and challenging for different group of learners. And 2, the teacher uses differentiated strategies that motivate and engage group of learning, allowing them to achieve learning outcomes. No? So, ang kaibahan ni 4 tsaka ni 6, ni 5 tsaka ni 6 rather, si 6, no, different groups of learners. And also you motivate them to engage, no, na-achieve, no. So magpo-provide din po ako diyan ng virtual LAC session diyan sa indicator na 'yan. Para mas makita pa natin yung mga examples, paano tayo makakagawa ng differentiated, developmentally appropriate learning experiences, no? So, this one, it focuses on differentiated, developmentally appropriate learning experiences. It challenges us to meet learners where they are and guide them toward where they can be. No, remember that no two learners are the same. Differentiation honors this truth by giving each one a fair chance to learn according to their strengths, needs, and pace. So let's explore what this look like in practice and how it shapes inclusive educations, no, through trainings, mga LAC sessions pa natin, FGD, collaborative expertise pa natin. Okay? So, we move sa ating next. It's 4.1.2. Plan, manage. I think ito na yung last indicator for CO number 1. Plan, manage, and implement developmentally sequenced teaching and learning process to meet curriculum requirements and varied teaching contexts. Ito ay part ng domain 4, curriculum and planning. Okay? So, let's define. No? So, when we say developmentally sequenced teaching and learning process, the order of activities that keeps learners engaged in the content. Ito po gusto ko maalala nyo, purposely scaffolds learners toward achieving the lesson's objectives by maximizing allotted class time. No? Nandoon yung ating lesson objective. No? Yung expectation ng learners at the end of the lesson. We have learners' engagement and strategies. Yung pacing natin, no, yung speed natin or rate in presenting the lesson. Hindi tayo parang nagra-rap. And sequence, no, yung order of presenting the lesson and classroom activities. Okay? Kasi when we say poorly sequence, illogical yung order, no? Nag-discuss ka na kagad ng lesson bago ka nag-recap. Or nag-synthesize na kagad yung mga learners, wala pa nga yung activity, no? When we say multiple pathways for learning, it's different ways of presenting the lesson, no, suited to various learner need. Basahin natin yung description ng 1 to 6. No? 1 ka kapag hindi ka nag-implement ng developmentally sequence. 2, kapag poorly sequence. 3, if you implement the lesson but only with some elements, no? Some element lang. Yung 4, you implement the lesson but with inappropriate elements of developmentally sequence. Okay? 5, the teacher implements the lesson with appropriate elements. Okay yung sequence niya. No? Na-meet naman yung curriculum and varied teachings. Yung 6, ang key term that I want you to remember, well-structured lesson with developmentally sequence and lesson processes. Siyempre, kailangan natin tignan yung features of practice para mas makita natin yung specific illustration. No? 1, kapag wala kang structured plan. Yung transition ng mga activity mo nawawala. Ang rating ay 2 if ang procedures ay pangit ang pagkakaplano, no? Meron kang major problem sa organization or framing ng iyong lesson, no? 3, if does not demonstrate understanding of prerequisite relationship when planning the transition. The teacher's sequence of learning activities demonstrates some structures. Meron naman, yun nga lang maiilang problema. No? Yung 4, the teacher demonstrates inaccurate or incomplete knowledge of prerequisite relationship. No? The teacher presents minor organizational issues and missed opportunities. So, tignan natin yung 5. The teacher connects outcomes from previous and future learning and transitions between activities are smooth. Okay? The teacher's sequence of learning activities generally keeps learners engaged kasi swabe, no? Yung iyong transition, moving to the next part of your lesson, reasonable naman, no? Learners understand the purpose of the lesson. Okay? 6 or yung highest rating ka, if you If the sequence of activities purposely scaffolds learners towards achieving the lessons, may maganda, no, yung scaffolding, tsaka yung transitions, no. The teacher's sequence of learning activities keeps learners engaged in the content and has a clear sense of purpose throughout the class period. Okay? Pero nakita niyo pa rin dyan, may points for improvement pa rin yan. Okay? Kasi tayo ay teachers 1, 2, 3, ano tayo, beginning towards proficient. Okay po? So again, I'll provide po virtual accession for this indicator para mas makita pa natin yung mga examples. Kasi this one, again, is just an orientation, yung overall, para mabasa po natin. No? So, dito sa last indicator na to, it asks us to plan and manage teaching in a developmentally sequenced way. This means that lessons flow logically and build upon each other, from simple to complex, from known to unknown. Sequencing is not about order, no? It's about scaffolding learning so that every learner reaches the objective step by step. When the lessons are well sequenced, transitions feel natural, learners see purpose in every task, and teachers maintain momentum in class. A good plan doesn't just meet curriculum standards. It provides a pathway where learners can explore, practice, and finally master the skill with confidence. So that's the 6 indicators for classroom observation 1. Okay? So, ngayon, si rater, yung mga head teachers, master teacher, they will use the PME, yung rater natin, they will use PMES tool, yan, para malagyan ng rating yung ating IPCRF, no? So, kung sa objective number 1, 6 yung ating rate. So, it means O ka, no? Outstanding, 5. Kung ang rating mo ay 5, ikaw ay very satisfactory o yung iyong performance indicator is 4. Okay? So, ganun siya sa lahat ng, kung ang means of verification natin ay classroom observation tool rating sheet. No? So, kung ang rating mo sa CO mo ay 6, ang iyong performance indicator ay 5 or outstanding. So, pare-pareho siya sa mga iba pang objectives na classroom observation. Kapag ang rating mo ay 4, S ka sa performance indicator. Kapag 3 ang rating mo, 2 ang iyong performance indicator. Okay? So, ito yung summary para mas mabilis nating matandaan. Sa indicator 1.1.2, kailangan accurate and in-depth of all concepts, meaning you display extensive knowledge. You are responsive to student developmental learning needs. You make connections at ang focus ay congruent with big ideas or yung structure ng iyong teaching area. Ibalik mo sila dun sa big idea ng iyong lesson at yung overall structure ng iyong teaching area. Okay? Next, 1.4.2, kapag literacy and numeracy, nakalagay consistently applies. Okay? Meaning in all aspects of your lesson. Meron siyang literacy and or. Okay? Pwedeng dalawa sila, pwedeng isa lang sila. Isang literacy, isang numeracy. 1.5.2, sa higher order thinking naman or creative critical, tandaan, learners justify their thinking, successfully engage most learners using well-directed questions, and all voices of learners are heard. Okay? Next, manage classroom structure. So, always remember, keep the learning environment free from congestion. facilitates activities that are appropriate within physical environment. Take note, within the allotted time. For 3.1.2, differentiated developmentally appropriate learning experiences. Nakalagay dyan, variety of strategies. Learning is accessible and it challenge the different groups of learner. Kailangan they are motivated at engaged sila, no? 4.1.2, nakalagay dyan, purposely scaffolds, keep learners engaged, and has a clear sense of purpose throughout the lesson. Okay? So, I hope nakatulong po si Teacher Josa sa inyong lahat. Thank you so much, no? Don't forget to like and subscribe sa ating YouTube channel for more videos and of course mga sessions na makakatulong sa ating growth and development. Always remember, be intentional with your planning, foster literacy and numeracy, manage your classroom, differentiate and sequence your lessons with purpose, reflect and act on insight. No, take a moment to reflect. How have I grown as an educator, and how will I continue to grow? That's the heart of performance management. Always remember, every teacher's journey is unique, but our purpose is shared to make learning meaningful and to empower every child we teach. As we move forward, let's carry this purpose with renewed commitment and passion. Thank you so much for joining this orientation, virtual orientation on performance management and evaluation system for teachers 1 to 3, no? School year 2025 to 2026, guided by DepEd Memo 089 series of 2025. I'm Teacher Josa, your RPMS coordinator. Always remember, our work as teachers shapes futures. Every lesson we teach, every learner we guide, and every reflection we make contributes to building a better generation. Let's continue to teach with excellence, lead with compassion, and grow with purpose. Together, we are the heart of education. And please feel free to scan the QR code for your feedback, comment, suggestion, insights, and also if you want to invite me as your resource speaker. Thank you so much, and God bless us all.